Optimism. Pass it on from the Foundation for Better Life at Values.com.
WODT, WNOE after.
Hey, what?
Fox Sports trending now.
Stage 3 CTE. His fiance is suing the NFL and the Patriots, claiming Hernandez suffered the brain injuries playing football, and that is what led to his suicide. She and her attorney say that they are accountable because the league hides the true dangers of the sport.
Picks.
On 7 Bulls improved to 4-0 this season. The Rangers won at Seattle 4-2. Games up on the Angels and Rangers for the final AL wild card
that one day.
Welcome to America Speaks by Zip, the polling app that lets you tell the nation what you think. Download the Zip app today. It's Friday, September. People are paying attention to her genes. Should celebs fess up to their enhancements? 67% of people polled about this say they should just admit it if it's that obvious, but the other 33% don't think it's anyone's business if you decide to swept the Emmys. Which one is your winner? 56% of men are going.
All right. So what's
Oh my gosh!
I swear. I'm. All right. What's after that?
Jim Derry, 10:45. 11:02. So we're not calling it.
11:02. That's oddly specific.
That's
exactly what.
Alrighty then.
And then later in the 11 o'clock hour,
You can take your paycheck and bank accounts too. So, if you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call of thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters. Stop aggressive. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A-rated with
800-798-2477. That's 800-798-2477.
All right, here we go, ladies.
Let's do it. Details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
go extremely quickly because there are so many other things. We have Jim Derry on around 10:45. Get the Preps football. On Jimmy Smith, NOLA.com, Times-Picayune recruiting expert. There tomorrow morning at Ullman Stadium for Tulane and Army for all things Tulane football and men's basketball, Sports 1280. I have to talk, because it's so locked and loaded. We got so many things going on. Jim, secret.
Did you talk to him?
Loaded. That's what I thought. So I did not bring that. Some painful subjects probably.
They're making some moves. Doing with that? Are they just trying to get rotational players?
Light at linebacker because Stephen Anthony's gone, and oh boy, if you have just read, it's probably not a good. All kinds of juicy depression in there. It's them are depressing. Like how many times Drew Brees has started 0-2 in his career. He had the shortest tenure of a first round year with the Saints. So Stephen Anthony, 2 years and 2 games. Didn't cut the mustard, but yeah. So we'll read that. 2014. That was late in the season. Remember that year he could win that award every week if he has a good game. But yeah, look, I think, and we're going to make our pick. Well, actually, our picks are public already, but we'll make our pick on the radio. And Jeff, if I were to say of these first 3 games and just seeing how Carolina's come out, and even though they're 2-0, I think this is a winnable game for the Saints. And I don't think it's us just throwing out hope and a prayer. I think this is a winnable game because I don't really know how good Carolina is. Their center, Ryan Khalil's missed a couple days of practice already this week. We know Greg Olson's out. Cam Newton's trying to get his feet back under him after missing a lot of training camp, and he's even kind of being limited during practice weeks as well. So I think that this isn't the Carolina of 2015 who was undefeated and you're trying to upset them. I think they're still trying to believe in themselves, and beating the Saints would probably do that if they put them at 3-0, but I do think the Saints have a reasonable chance of going up there and pulling off the upset this week.
I actually think it's their best chance at a win in the first 6 games. And that might sound surprising to some people, but I think they match up well with Carolina. Some of the Saints' weaknesses, like the secondary and the pass defense, that's not a strength of Carolina. So I think some of the things that the Saints right now are weak at aren't going to be exploited that much by Carolina, and I think it'll be a tight game, and they have a chance to sneak out a victory in the fourth quarter.
Now, Marshawn Lattimore, don't know if he's going to play.
Doesn't sound good.
Doesn't sound good, no. Still in the concussion protocol. Didn't practice again yesterday. Now, Sterling Moore, I thought his injury was far more serious than originally thought. He was limited in practice yesterday, so the fact that you could at least have him, I don't know if it will keep you from a restless night's sleep, but still, at least it's someone who you've seen be halfway decent for the Saints at cornerback in the past year.
Yeah, he's got skins on the wall. He's not going to be intimidated. He's got experience, which is something the Saints are in short. King Crawley, Devontae Harris, and who else would be in that group? I don't even know.
It would be Ken Crawley, Devontae Harris, P.J. Williams.
Yeah.
And then if the fact that they haven't signed a cornerback, or you could always, in a pinch, move up Arthur Millette. That might be the case, too, if you need him. I mean, look, they liked him in training camp. He got injured, and then they scaled back on him, and so he didn't do enough to make the 53-man. But we like what we saw a good bit from Arthur Millette. That might be part of the plan. I don't know. I wouldn't surprise me if it was.
And they could do that on Sunday. They could wait till the last minute and do that. And the one thing I would say, look, we've covered a lot of games at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, and that is, of all the opposing stadiums, it's as hospitable as you get. I mean, it's a wine and cheese crowd in Charlotte. It's not hostile in any way. That's a place you can go and get a win. That's just the way it is. Charlotte is not a place that opponents are afraid to come in and play.
No, they're not known for like the 12th man or like in Seattle. It's not the same.
Not in Minnesota.
And also say the same thing. Honestly, you could look at the 3 opponents that the Saints ever face on the road. None of the places are daunting. I'm curious to see what Mercedes-Benz Stadium is in Atlanta, but the Georgia Dome is no daunting place that the Saints feared. I mean, they had a lot of success on the road in Atlanta over the past few years.
I think Lambeau will be tough.
Yes.
That's a tough place, just because the team's good, but it's always tough to win up there on the road, on the grass. The Saints aren't
Buffalo probably the same thing because they haven't played there in a long time. I mean, Drew Brees, last time they played there was 2009.
Wow, it's been that long?
Yeah, same thing. They ended up winning that game. Remember, it was like a grinded out run game. I think Pierre Thomas had a good game, but it wasn't some high scoring offensive performance. It was an early game, grinded out. They pulled it out there, but that's the last time they played in Buffalo was 2009.
It's never easy up at Buffalo. You always tend to think, Buffalo, they haven't been to the playoffs in 17 years. But they're always hard at home. They have a loyal fan base, and that'll be another grinded out game because they have a very good defense. They just have no offense.
Right. Dave, I think I lied to you already. I mean, I started the show, and I'm already lying to you. It's kind of the way.
You just lie to everybody over the course of like many minutes of the show.
I know.
Yesterday about, we're going to get to picks. We're going to get to picks, and we'll get to picks for the last like 12 minutes.
All Clyde cares about is picks.
Oh, boy. I lied to you again. I'm going to play this audio, Dave. I'm sorry.
No, the next segment, since we're talking heavy Saints, I'd like to play the Sheldon Rankins interview. So if you could do that for me, Dave, I would give you a hug.
Okay, stop there. Just stop there.
I don't really want to hurt you, Dave. I don't. Now I might want to make you cry. I'm always putting Dave through the ringer.
I'm just gonna play some Sophie Hawkins
back in the studio. Oh, what? This is heresy on Country Fried Friday. Where is it?
When you said all that, I think about Sophie Hawkins. You know what song I'm thinking about?
This is heresy. Oh, I'm all in on Country Fried Friday. I need my dose of Kenny Chesney. I need Miranda Lambert.
Amen. Amen to that.
The fact that I said two people I actually knew.
And one of them is Bay. Good job.
I don't know what Bay means. Anyway, let's take a quick break right here on the show. Locked and Loaded show. Jimmy. Top of the 11 o'clock hour, Willie Fritz. We'll have NFL.
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Oh, it's Chesney. I got to get that right.
I don't know.
At least I'm not like
Right. So, back.
yeah, like we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Protect us in the beginning of their long road home. Wounded Warrior at no cost for life. Find WWP.org for life. Find WWP.org.
Lendup.com, the better payday loan.
Our sold out 2017 iHeart nights. One state.
I am totally solo.
Starting at 1 p.m. tomorrow.
He's going to be coming in.
One is the proud
Yeah, it sounds like he's doing it.
And I want to talk
Put your head like in the
promote
middle.
safety and help tires
This
last
is Clyde.
Get one of those, like,
So
big
people can
giant
see.
heads.
Get it at KFC, $10 chicken salad and enjoy with a friend.
Yeah, one of those little
KFC,
sticks like
it's
they have
still
on
finger licking
Party
fun.
Eruption, yeah.
Limited time offer at participating KFC's.
I'm
Prices
Clyde.
This is Dunc and Holder on Sports 1280, New Orleans.
All right, educate me. Who is this?
Back Chesney.
It is back-to-back Chesney. All right, dude.
It's a block Sean Payton would approve.
Yeah,
Sean
he would.
Payton
He
is a
loves
huge Chesney fan.
Also, seeing as I'm also going to be your emoji interpreter, I'm also going to be your Urban Dictionary interpreter. Bay means before anyone else.
Before anyone else.
Yes, like that person is your.
Me
trying to
before
help you
anybody
here.
else,
I am
right?
trying to help you here, dude.
I'm a me guy, right?
Miss Holder, you are his Bay.
Please.
Bebe Ogeron, right? Isn't that what he
I
goes
might
by?
use it, Bebe, yes.
Bebe Ogeron?
Hey, baby.
Exactly. So, oh boy. Already off the rails on a Friday. It's like we've got this limited time we could actually talk before we got to do like
Football
real serious
Friday, get
interviews.
it in.
We
Yeah.
do need your urban dictionary help because I don't think either one of us.
I'm here for it, guys.
Most uncool person ever.
Yeah, we know, dude.
Asked him a few questions, and then we had another reporter chime in with a good question about the pass rush, so I left it in. But Sheldon Rankins, look, he's going to play a big role in this game. Look, Cam Newton, we know Cam Newton. Saints need to improve their pass rush. It's got to start coming. Player, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, he's real mature.
Absolutely, yeah. So he's an easy guy to talk to, and he tells you straight up what's going on, which is, of course, in the media, that's what we want to hear. And as honestly, as Saints fans, I'm sure that's what you want to hear as well. So here's Sheldon Rankins on facing the Panthers, Christian McCaffrey.
Biggest things you guys feel like you can improve on as far as, both phases, in run defense and pass rush?
It's got to be the little things. Blowout games and close games. So just concentrating on the little things, each man focusing on his assignment, what he needs to do, and trusting others. The rest will take care of itself.
Anything you could share, like what are some of these little things, like some examples you could share that you guys feel like you can do
Well, I
better?
mean, it's being where you're supposed to be. If if you got a tip on a certain play, play that tip. Don't be out there second guessing. What we've gone through with the game plan. So, just little things like that. We think the rest will take care of itself.
What about the dynamic of Christian McCaffrey? I mean, obviously not a guy they didn't with him.
Well, I mean, he's as talented a player as we'll probably play this year. His ability to run the ball and be effective in the passing game. His patience. When he's running the ball is top notch, especially for a guy just coming into this league. We've seen some of his runs in the preseason, and he's a great player. So, we just got to swim to the ball. He's a guy. You got to get a lot of guys around because he's going to make.
A little slowed up, probably coming back from an injury, but you guys, I guess, are expecting the same guy you faced in the past.
Yeah. I mean, anytime. That he's going to be out there and be a playmaker for that team. So, we're prepared for him to, try to beat us with his arm as well as try to get a good plan to go out and make sure we can contain him as much as possible.
How do you feel like the pass rush is doing overall?
All right, 30.
But, when we watch tape, we aren't discouraged. We see guys winning rushes. We see guys, doing things, they're taught in practice. And we see guys executing the plan. One guy isn't doing what he's supposed to do, allowing
10 seconds.
Step up, move here. So, as long as we can continue to get everybody on the same page, we should be fine. But we're encouraged with what we see so far.
Is it?
Well, they should be encouraged actually by seeing the news. I know the Saints are probably going to hit the practice field here in less than an hour. But center Ryan Khalil is not practicing again for Carolina. Specifically for Sheldon Rankins at defensive tackle, they're going to be without their starting center, it seems like. So the Saints, as we alluded to, they have opportunity now. But this is a game I think the Saints can go up there and pull off the win. I think they're capable of doing that.
Can't turn it over. They haven't turned it over in the first two games. I think they're one of 3 teams in the league without a turnover, and that's something Sean Payton beating themselves, and they cannot do that. That's one thing that has haunted them a little bit against Carolina is Drew's thrown some picks. I can specifically remember a couple of picks at Bank of America Stadium that led to, kind of an avalanche. They've got to avoid that, and I think get off to a fast start, get control of the game, and be able to use the running game.
Oh, no question about that. I think they know they want to, especially still without Willie Snead in the passing game. I think they know Carolina is probably going to use the same tactics that the Patriots use. They are going to want to eliminate. This Carolina defense is back to being the real deal. I mean, they've only given up 3 points in each game, but both Los Angeles Rams, what's going on with them?
Let's just put it out here, though. The 49ers covered. 49ers.
Because we didn't have enough time to go through college picks and then make that pick yesterday.
over there would know.
Yeah. You gave me one job. That's what I'm doing.
You can't be one. No, you've got several more jobs.
That's also a great point,
Why do you think YouTube Live is actually running?
That's fair. It's a good point.
That's an important job.
Lay in bed at night. Picks. It's Picks Day. I can't wait. I can't get to bed.
Precious. Exactly.
I love you, Picks. I love you. I can't sleep. I'm so excited.
Jeff, are you going Cartman again? That was pretty close.
Savage says it. Good job.
Cartman is respect my authority.
Cartman and Holder. Exactly. That's going to be the new. When you leave, I'm going to put on our banner here, when you're gone for London all week, I'm just going to put Cartman and Holder. Put his head on a stick.
Oh, we're going to do Dunc
and they said you won't have to worry about that. They say I have no fear.
We didn't make a bet. You made a proclamation.
Yeah.
Well, because you don't. Because
cut. Which, by the way,
if you lose, you don't lose anything.
Jeff, tell us what he said he.
Because I won't be getting. I just got a fresh haircut in September. I won't get one until no chance the rest of this calendar year. Bama bangs,
next Mike Gundy.
So we'll just shave the top of the head and leave the mullet kicking.
Are you like haircut averse? I mean, why do you How often do you get a haircut?
Jeff, do you really want me to go into this? Have you seen my hair? It's beautiful.
Do you like
I don't
looking
understand
like you are in a Alabama fraternity with your Bama bangs over your visor?
I was in an LSU frat, but
your Lauren.
I wore boat shoes, deck shoes, Sperry's.
Boat shoes. There we go.
Sperry. Duncan live from NOLA.com Tom Speaking Studios.
As I said before, Cartman's a fat little weasel. I have nothing in comparison to him.
Let's take a break right here on the show. 3 interviews back to back to back.
And you will respect
David's too good at his job, unfortunately.
I know. I love it. Coming up next, Jimmy Smith, followed by Jim Derry, followed by Willie Fritz.
Your forecast.
Okay, so we got,
sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, I bet you are. Yeah, you're really sorry.
I really am.
IF, yep. Friday looking pretty good.
I didn't even plan that.
It'll be warm, though. The high today,
Oh, yeah,
90 degrees. A spring shower at
I have the entire internet at my disposal.
I know you do. Trust me.
temperatures
And it's
falling
quick
back to the
trigger
low
over there.
70s. Over the weekend, rain chances
I
coming
love
up
this
just a
picture
bit,
of Coach
30
O.
to
Look at
40.
it.
We'll see a couple of showers
Mayday.
over the weekend. It will not be a washout. From the Fox 8 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Bruce.
Download the McDonald's app and get a free large soft drink with any purchase every week. And right now, get any size soft drink, sweet tea, or coffee for just $1 anytime at McDonald's. Limited time. Participation may vary. See McDonald's.com.
Apply online in minutes on your phone, and you could have cash in your account fast.
I think that
Lendup.com is the better payday loan,
Really?
with
Yeah.
no hidden fees, and
they
good
don't-
credit is not required.
I don't know, something going on.
Visit Lendup, subject to availability in your state. Lendup,
I mean, we could ask him about
the better way to
what
borrow.
happened if it affected anything. But, I mean, that's it.
Oh, that's cool.
1 minute.
We can turn a stairwell into an ER at a moment's notice. Together, we can vaccinate 710,000 people in just 11 days. Goes where others don't to provide life-saving medical care. Learn more at doctorswithoutborders.org.
Howdy, folks. Colonel Sanders from KFC near you. Has been and will be until the end of time. No matter what's happening in the world, you can trust it. My original. Get it in a KFC $10 chicken share and enjoy it with a friend. KFC, it's still finger-licking good. Limited.
Coming back.
Participating KFCs, prices may vary.
It's your home. This is where you talk the home teams. Sports 1280, New Orleans.
Like Darius Rucker. There's a difference.
Clyde.
You need to stop. With Hootie and the Blowfish. There are no blowfish in that. That is Darius Rucker solo by himself.
He agrees, Hootie for life.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely. Join us right here on the show. Jimmy Smith, our recruiting guru, comes on. LSU and Tulane being home. Jimmy, appreciate the time as always. And Jimmy, first I want to go over, you had an interesting story about some. That's posted on NOLA.com. I think you posted it yesterday. But to just kind of go through some of those names who are kind of improving their stock as the season has gone along locally.
Off season and even garner some offers during that time, but it really takes place on Friday nights. That's where it all really happens. That's what paves the future for them. We are taking that next step, and it could be a guy that's finally emerging as a college prospect, or even a guy that's taking the next step to kind of separate himself from some of the others and become elite, and for the state title. But they have two defensive backs that are just big-time playmakers. Damian Tate, who's committed to McNeese State, but he could be about him recently in Houston and schools like that. So he's kind of propelling himself to the next stage. Programs are recruiting. And he really, so it's really just picking guys around the state that on Thursdays, Fridays, and
your college ranks and try and recruit some JUCO defensive linemen to bolster that position group. You look at, and what are their chances in any of these guys? Are they just now getting involved with the
You know, and so this is something that's kind of developed in a sense recently. And I think it's really these JUCO guys, they come in a couple years old, they're a little more developed than the high school players, so they're more ready to contribute. Recruiting process, most of them once before. They just didn't academically qualify, so here they are coming back again, and they're looking for immediate playing time. It's very common from the junior college ranks to have a guy. A lot of those guys are looking for. So, but there's some interesting names, guys. They've recruited in the past, like Emmett Gooden. Emmett from Tennessee came in as a strong. Got away from them at first and had to go the JUCO route. Now he's committed to Arkansas, but they had a good kind of giving them some depth at multiple positions around that front, but also kick out to end in that 3-4 front. The best guy out there is Tierra Tart Spencer. You know, very disruptive and really push for all conference type honors. He's that kind of prospect. The problem is there's a lot of premier programs that have been recruiting him for some. They could possibly lure him to help him develop and get ready for the next level, the NFL, and Ed Orgeron and Pete Jenkins. So, Louisville, or excuse me, Duncan, how would you say Louisville? Wrong person to say it the way I did. So, but they have 3 of the nation's best junior college defensive lineman prospects committed. 3 junior college prospects coming in for a position group that only starts 4 at most. You know, there could be some issues there. So it'll be interesting. Very athletic, 5-technique defensive end on the front, and so there's a lot of guys out there, but very little time to really close the gap on.
Prospect Ian Jonas right here on Dunc and Holder. Follow him on Twitter at Jimmy. Big loss in Starkville. Has that kind of for it really kind of might start affecting
a major effect in recruiting, but if last weekend against Mississippi State, they all saw what kind of lopsided game that was. So, I mean, if they were to have one game, I don't think any one prospect walked away and you know, and dropped their interest in LSU just from that one. It was almost a perfect storm that helped develop into that situation. Yeah, LSU played bad all the way around, but they had points. A lot of issues there that led to that. And anybody that watched the game with a good football eye can walk away and
the recruiting loss to Alabama when they lost Isaiah Buggs and what was the kid's name? Guys and missed, and boy, it's underscored now, right?
Yeah, and 5-star from Texas looked like they were going to have a really good chance of signing him. He signed with Florida State late. You know, Fedarian Mathis from Neville, an in-state guy that they were really pushing, that they thought they led for quite some time, ended up signing with Alabama. They have a lot of young talent on that team. Some of the prospects with the most upside, some of the players with the most upside on that roster by the junior college ranks comes into play because those guys can come in and contribute right away and add to the numbers. And they have a lot of good young D linemen on this roster, but it's going to take some time because the upper class.
Jimmy Smith, NOLA.com, the Times Picayune. recruiting section, specifically on our website, and Jimmy's got all kinds of goodies on there at NOLA.com. Hey, Jimmy, appreciate the time right there. And it's going to be interesting to follow how we've got to go to the JUCO route. I mean, he's not holding his tongue back. He's like, we've got to get this fixed now.
And I think maybe even along the offensive line as well.
Tahuma being gone.
And a lot of things happened to him along both lines, and that's where
big games, of course. Jim Derry of NOLA.com and Times-Picayune will join us next here on Sports 1280. NOLA.com.
Join Corey Johnson on the neutral ground.
Is the sky falling already for local football fans?
We need to get you a bigger.
Last year, corporate data breaches were up 40%. This year, it could be worse. Is at risk. Go to Experian.com/scan to help keep your identity yours with Experian.
Low prices every day.
At 4551. Be nifty. Call Nifty.
Low prices every day.
Our sold-out 2017 iHeartRadio Music Festival hosted by Ryan Seacrest.
iHeartRadio.
Tonight.
.com or the CW app at 9 p.m. tonight and tomorrow. Starting at 1 p.m. tomorrow.
Capital One is the proud marquee partner of the
At Lowe's, we know pros appreciate a promise kept, a challenge met, a job well done. And just as important, we know pros appreciate saving money. So now during Lowe's Pro, when they buy...
All right, we got Jim.
Up Lowe'sForPros.com now and save up to 10%, which is something a pro...
1 hour air conditioning and heating.
10 seconds.
855 1 hour. That's 855 1 hour.
Let's. I don't know who this is. Heard the song, but I don't know who the hell this is. Sorry.
It's Jim Derry's, walk-on music.
Ah. They think they run this show?
What is wrong with you, man? What planet do you live on?
My own planet, which is a weird, wacky coop and goes to London. And Jim Derry will be here 4 days next week. 4 days of Darien holder. We're going to just...
I'm going to sell...
We just these. We're good. So, anyway.
Looking forward.
That's part of the sponsorship, right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Either that or, you want a radiator.
Exactly. So, but game of the week, Jim. What you got so far?
Game this week. We got 2 in week 5, but this week we have going to the Shrine. Jesuit and St. Augustine are facing off in the right across your neck of the woods where you guys pretty much live.
Yeah, Saints facility and Pelicans facility, absolutely. So, Catholic League team. I feel like it could go either way, honestly, just depending on the night.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because 1 and 2. So really, it's a crapshoot the rest of the way to see who is going to be the third team in the Catholic League. Both of these teams have struggled offensively, but both played real well last week against Baton Rouge teams. So played very, very well through 3 weeks. Jesuit has had its ups and downs. They have a new offensive coordinator and trying to get Alex Watermeyer, their senior quarterback, on track. And we'll see if they're able. We'll see who gets the first leg up in the Catholic League.
JD, one of the games that I'm interested in getting your take on is the annual rivalry, Destrehan-Hahnville matchup. How do you see that game playing out? It's always a great rivalry.
Yeah, I have to say that was is my broadcast partner on Thursdays and Saturdays, so I generally get a call from him on Friday nights, and he really Hahnville just it's kind of one of those things where they have the talent to win every game they play. I think they're in a situation now along with Jamar Chase is maybe the top recruit in the metro area, if not one of the. Hahnville went through last week in week 2, losing to St. Charles and nearly getting shut out. You know, I hate the old term you can throw the records out the window, because you can't throw records out the window. Train's got to be considered the favorite. It would. I think that is going to be one of the better games of the week, certainly.
Jim Derry, our preps guru, joins us right now. Expansive list of games this week of what to watch, and a couple of games caught my eye. Covington at Pine.
Real quickly with Covington, you know, I've kind of changed my mind over the district. If they can play any kind of defense, they've 2 of their 3 games they've allowed a ton of points, and certainly have the best offense in the district. And I know St. Paul's would argue with that, but they're not clicking right now. I think is the best running back in the city if you just combine all of his talents and not just teams ready. They're always talented. They're kind of in a rebuilding, not rebuilding isn't the right word, but kind of a retooling. Carr coming off that put up for about 600 and something yards already. He's got 3 or 4 really good receivers. So that'll be an interesting. A lot of really good, interesting matchups tonight as district play starts in about half of our districts, especially at the top. The 2 weeks where you really kind of start to see what teams are made of, and the teams that we've talked about, the Covington and Carrs. Let's see. That's when things really get going. It's not like the NFL where you don't know anything until late November, or you don't see the midway point when you turn the calendar over. So this is going to be a good week.
Jim, speaking of taking shape, look, you look at Landry Walker's record at 0-3, and you're thinking, oh my God, this team. I'm assuming they should be able to bounce back from 0-3.
Who's going to be playing at Mississippi? He's at Mississippi State, and he's already got a little playing time, and will probably. Walker still has a lot of talent. They did lose a ton. They lost about half of their starters, and you know this team started 0-2 last year, and will be back. I don't think they're a state championship type team, but I think they're the type week coming up. Number 1 in week 2. That's one of those things where you don't want to be the top seed and see them at 16 or 17 because you got to play them the second week. It's Shrine on Airline. Jeff. It's going to be type games, and we'll be on the air at 6:45. Game show as well, talking about what's going on in the metro area as we do throughout the entire contest. So it's not broadcast with our score updates, and we have 10 reporters out all over while we're out there. So join us if you're interested in prep football. We'll have you covered with.
Appreciate the extensive breakdown as always, and I will be seeing you. Jim Derry, follow him on Twitter at Jim Derry Jr. And yeah, Jeff, you're starting to see the district. And 2, but they're known as one of the best teams in the state, period.
How did they do against Rummel? Do we know?
You want me to talk about it?
Just set Destrehan-Hanville game tonight. I think, down the River Parish area. Kid John Emery, the running back for Destrehan, who Jimmy Smith is saying is the next great recruit in the state of Louisiana.
Need a win desperately. So come on back here on the show.
Looks like it's frozen upper. Looks like it's frozen upper.
I know about. I've seen you around with the reader.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was like I saw 3 minutes, and I'm like, are you sure?
$95 on a Beauty Rest firm
They said
queen
they're
mattress.
they're
Now just
buffering. Is that what they're talking about?
Visit mattressfirm.com/circulars. Product offers and
People are
prices
switching
may
over
vary
to
by
iHeart.
state.
It's strange because I use Wi-Fi for this and it's never. Always.
Today, these words give
I'm starting to think of
courage
this
to reach for
meetup is going to be
No, I think
a disaster.
Sports.
Right, but think about this. All right, think about the logistics. Fans out in the crowd asking questions. How do we get the mic pass?
Training camp gets underway next week. Media days Monday, first day of practice.
More than one. I don't know how to do that.
Triangle offense.
Guys are.
I think so. I don't know.
To try to put our guys in the best position.
There you go.
The roster, you look at the players' strengths. Try to build from there.
That's what's screwing everything up and causing all my anxiety.
Like the event itself.
Audience back on NOLA? Yeah, I can sit up there and moderate.
Here, yeah. You hear me?
All right, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
All right. This break was technically short. I mean,
So cut it whenever you want to.
Founder of Operation Hope. My name is John. With your lender, apply for a loan modification or take other steps to avoid 4673.
Are sold out 2017. This weekend at T-Mobile Arena in Vegas.
Watch it live. Starting at 1 p.m. tomorrow.
Capital One is the proud marquee partner of the iHeart.
For hour number 2 on a Friday, September 26th, football coach Willie Fritz. A pretty important game going on tomorrow. Coach, appreciate you jumping on the show. And just after last week's loss, get moving on to Army, knowing that.
It's the guys were disappointed, obviously, in how it's gone, and do the very best you can, and played in the bowl game last year. They've had a great season so far. They're only normally see week after week.
Well, Coach, I was going to ask you about that. Are they different than a different attack?
Yeah, you can in some regards. You really. So the offense, they're both under center triple option, but Army backfield sets from them, and then also a few different plays that
And I apologize, Navy's in the American, Army is not, so. I look like a goob all the time on this show, so please feel free. Getting some momentum at home, so I'm still going to call it an important game for you guys, right?
Our program, we got to take every game on like it's a Super. It feels good every time you play. Do a bye week this next week, and it sure would be good to.
It might be a game time decision on whether Jonathan Banks can play. Where
Good to go. He's going to be starting for us tomorrow, and get out there and play for us. Good quarterback.
I wanted to ask you, you can
throw a freshman out there, true. He did a really good job of handling the situation.
That's played well these first few games that maybe, hey, you.
Franklin was a good football player, but he's really elevated his level of play. He's playing great. Had a great game against Oklahoma. Of course, he does a great job with anything you ask him, whether it's blocking or for over 100 yards, and not a whole lot of people have been able to do that.
Looks like you're going to have a lot of good things going on campus. This should be, of course, with Army coming in, so should be a perfect day for win number 2 there.
Yeah, we're really excited about the kind of things, and guys are pumped up about it. I like these early games. Those night games are tough sometimes as a coach. Right after it.
Willie, Luke Jackson has a great story. Best have you been with the way he's A, been able to come back to the team, and B, been able to
he can play defensive end, linebacker, kind of an outside linebacker position as well. Position. He practiced it some during the week, but not a lot, and didn't have any bus. That ball. And for his teammates, just everything that he's overcome.
Coach, one last one. That was something when you came in and took the job that you noted was going to be an area of trying to, I guess, attention to detail, trying to do better.
Definitely improved from last season. We two guys, because those guys are pounding it down every single play. Vertical and horizontal seams, doing a really nice job.
Coach Willie Fritz, of course, Tulane, kicking off 11 o'clock tomorrow morning at Ullman Stadium, taking on Army. Pre-game starts at 10 a.m. I know you're swamped. We really appreciate the insight and a little breaking news about Jonathan Banks. So Tulane's going to pull off this win. I mean, all three of us think they're gonna get it done against Army.
Governor John Bell Edwards will be in the house tomorrow at UM. Why wouldn't you want to go over, take the kids,
Absolutely.
see a college football game?
Should be
passing yards total for Army all year. That's crazy.
So yeah, they're going to be running the football a lot. Hey Dave, why don't we take a segment as Clyde is giddy, I'm sure.
Ready to go.
He's in the sand, or am I? Someone played well last week in the NFL pick.
Sir Lawrence should be the one.
And we'll talk Saints Panthers the rest of the show after our NFL pick, so don't go anywhere.
Take a break.
What's that?
So we got a 4-minute break here if y'all need to stretch your legs.
A little bit of goo.
Lean, mean, picking
I think that's the head, muscle head.
With some goo.
Sports 12.
every single night only happens twice a year. It's Mattress Firm's semi-annual. And save up to $195 on a Beauty Rest Firm Queen mattress. Now just $454.99.
Did you know that creating a realistic budget is one of the first steps out of the foreclosure process?
So that's all
I'm John. Save your home.
Whatever.
For 20 years and 2 million customers and clients, we help people help themselves.
He's been screaming at practice all day. That's crazy.
That's 888-388-4673.
She's one of the most iconic artists of our time. Out on Netflix this Friday, and iHeartRadio has your exclusive sneak peek now through Heartbreak, a soul-blooming album and one of the most talked-about halftime shows. See Gaga.
Last time you walked out of a mattress store feeling confident about your purchase. These places exist for one reason. Too much money on a mattress. Hi, my name is Neil, and I'm one of the co-founders of Casper. Casper was created with a single goal in mind: deliver.
Again, I don't know what I just walked into, but yes,
simply go to Casper.com and use at Casper.com for $50 towards a mattress purchase. Casper.com. Thanks for checking us out.
Free dark web email scan only from Experian. It costs nothing and it could help you keep your identity yours. Start now for free at Experian.com/scan.
The IRS doesn't mess around.
Like, sometimes you go way up.
The IRS just hired an army of new tax enforcers. So, if you owe tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative, and their clients
Jeff,
that qualify are saving thousands.
All right, 30 seconds.
Thousands. One call starts the
New
process
York
to
to
stop
London.
the demand. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optimate your life back. Call now for your free consultation.
Call 800-798-2477. That's 800-798-2477.
Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit Optima Tax Relief.
Is Dunc and Holder on Sports 1280.
Poker.
Crow. Sounded like a.
To y'all.
Dave
wants you to go karaoke, dude.
Oh, I do have power over here to control the mic, and I might have to exercise that power. Karaoke type performance.
All right, NFL pick. The Thursday night win. I think we should just all give each other the Thursday night loss.
I think Larry. Okay, that's fair.
I picked it. It was on record on NOLA.com, and the 49ers to cover, and they did by half point.
So we're just going to have.
Rightfully deserves because he writes a column every Thursday, and we still don't do it.
Jeff is being.
Last week's picks, real quick.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I brought up the rear 6-2. In the paper, the article I file online, Clyde checked in at 8-8, so he was 500, and Sir Lawrence, the mullet man, 10-6. And Jeff Rowe at 12-19, way behind.
So I am winning this thing right now?
I feel like
Jeff. First game on the agenda, the Denver Broncos, who I wrote about. He's 2-0, the only first-year head coach, unbeaten, and they play at Buffalo.
I'm going to go Denver. I just don't think Buffalo's offense is that good.
I like the way Denver has been playing. I think Trevor Sims hurting on him.
You know, I think I saw. I can't remember what I picked.
Don't flip-flop.
Let's see. I'm taking the Bills. Baltimore's 2-0. I don't think they've allowed a touchdown all year. At Jacksonville, Leonard.
Blake Bortles became Blake Bortles again.
Baltimore, by the way, has 8 interceptions in 2 games.
Ravens might double their total because Bortles might throw another 8.
Exactly. They're probably licking their chops.
Yes.
No, they're still bad. I'm going with the Ravens as the road favorite.
-4, okay.
Yes.
NFL, his goal this year is to lead the NFL in rushing.
Rushing what?
Exactly.
Because I don't know.
Ravens defense. Ravens. Give me Baltimore.
And I took Baltimore too, but I think it's going to be closer than people think. All right, moving on. This is a Titanic matchup. The Cleveland Browns. Somebody's got to win.
A meteor could hit the stadium.
They could certainly tie. I'm going Colts because I think
the Browns are due to get off the. I really think the Browns are due to get off the schneid.
I like rookie quarterbacks and things like that. Yeah, but I think the Colts are terrible.
They're really bad.
So, but now -7.5 at Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. Look, Steelers, they're 2-0 right now. Chicago, it's one. What is it, Jeff? See the trap? So I'll go Chicago here.
Are you looking, by the way, at my screen?
Yeah,
I'm just making sure you don't flip.
The Boston Red Sox right now, looking it up on his Apple Watch.
I don't take.
Antonio Brown, I just don't see any way.
All right, you're on your own on that one because I took the Bears to cover. Last week they're 1-0, -6.5 at the New York.
Might go Jay Cutler any second.
That's true.
Terrible. Everything about them is terrible. So much so, their chances, they put 5,000 to 1. I'm not sure, but it's 5,000 from McDonald's.
Or just take a lighter and light.
I've been to Vegas. It's not like there's anything in Vegas that's cost less than $5 anyway.
All in unanimity on that. All three taking of a big victory here against the New Orleans Saints. Who you got?
Man.
+13.
Right? Did we all watch that Saints game together last week?
Yes. Yes.
Let's think about this. Deshaun Watson.
I mean, I think they could win by 17. So, yeah, I'm taking the Patriots. 114. I mean, that's
Houston
not
has
out of the
a
realm.
great defense.
They have a great defense.
So, Carolina, we probably should have kept that for last.
Keep it for last.
All right, we'll go beyond that. Both teams, I think, are unbeaten, right?
Yes, both
Battle
teams
of
are
besties.
unbeaten. Rock City, going Detroit. I'm believing in Detroit.
Wow. Okay. Thanks, Kiss. Battle of Best Friends. A huge thing about how they spend the offseason together. They work out. Team duo of
What
just
are you
like
doing? You like
elite quarterbacks, man.
Spending time.
That's why I took yesterday seriously and today seriously. Facts. So in this today's series, facts. So in this, the Matt going to be the NFC representative again, and they may not lose in an epic fashion.
That inconvenient truth. The East rival, Philadelphia. Who you got, Sir Lawrence?
Eric Flowers, he might be the worst in the game.
The viral video of the person who does. It was either yesterday or it was Wednesday.
I forget.
The co-host. Everybody in New York nuts because he talked about how bad the offensive line is. There is no need to talk.
Just inappropriate terms.
It's not always. I'm gonna say this in layman's terms. He got very upset that fans were using analytics. It's terrible. I'm going with the Eagles.
Is that like went banana?
Yeah, just like Gwen Stefani, man. It is bananas.
Hawks plus 2.5 at the Tennessee Titans. This is a rare matchup. You don't see these two teams. As the Titans are back on track. Seattle, man, they have all kinds of problems.
Who's going to win the West?
Agreement on that. Chargers, little AFC West, which is without question NFC West. For sure.
NFC West.
There's no doubt.
-3. The
are still in depression mode. That their little trickster kicker.
We're all in agreement there too. I feel the same way. I can't pick the Chargers.
From behind, they do. They love
we saw them
down by
last year.
20. Let's just start.
Easy one, I think we can all agree on. The Cincinnati Bungles.
Nation Packers. That's the easiest pick of the week, I think. Gonna get rid of him during the season. He's had too much time on task. Longer, but Marvin Lewis is second.
Yeah.
I can't see them. They're awful.
They are very bad.
Okay, we don't have a line on this game. Sam Bradford's situation. Nobody knows if he's playing. So I don't.
Take Tampa. I think they're for real.
All right.
So they're going to be
Let's
Tampa.
just call it a pick 'em.
Yeah, just make it a pick 'em.
Tampa.
Yeah.
I think that's the name of the defense. Tampa 2.
Yeah, Tampa 2.
All right. 2 more games left with this.
And then the same.
Raiders -3.5.
Spice it up.
Thank you, Dave. Oakland Raiders -3.5 at. By the way, off to a great start. They're 2.
Is this this game?
There's no studying. I just.
I like the Raiders too. I really, really do. But West Coast teams going over all the early.
Oakland is 4-1 all time in Washington, so that studies out.
So who'd you?
Oakland is 4-1 all time in Washington, so that studies out.
So who'd you take? I am gonna go.
It pains me to say that.
All right, we've arrived at the.
Because I want to talk more. Let's take a break right here. We'll do it at the very end of the show. Like needling each other.
Sniping each other.
Whew, it gets
This is
spicy.
what we wanted.
So come on back. Sports 1280, NOLA.com, and the iHeartRadio app.
Go get it yourself at the biggest train. You gotta cause it ain't my problem now.
The Fox 8 Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Bruce.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got
TGIF. Yeah, Friday looking pretty good. Going to be warm. Temperatures falling back to the low 70s.
There's a lot of luggage in.
We'll see a couple of showers over the weekend.
Shout out to Dave for
not
playing
be a
bag and
washout.
claim. There's a lot.
We now know why Clyde's only going to be here 2 days.
once he starts like busting rhythm and rhymes over and over there, they'd be like,
"Guys, this is what I wanted."
We will embrace you with open arms. I promise you, if that would happen.
On a beauty rest firm. On a beauty rest firm queen mattress. Firm.
Yay.
Circulars. Product offers
But it's wrong.
It means it.
I'm John.
By revolutionwear.com.
Third highest. So that's actually a good.
Yeah, revolutionwear.com is as high tech as you. Revolutionwear.com. The revolution starts.
Way.
Give me what I want, or you'll never
give
see
you
a
the stat on
sidekick
the
again.
Give him what he wants.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, it does.
Told you.
Only AT&T.
They give you the stat on the
Give him what he wants.
Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, it does.
Told you.
Only AT&T gives you.
Additional usage, speed, and other restrictions apply. See store for plain details.
Sports 1280.
This is one of my karaoke songs.
Oh.
Wow.
Blake Shelton.
They were both. Then Blake Shelton.
20 minutes ago.
Hey, just because I can say that stuff. Led, everybody dies famous in a small town. Bag.
I'm so hip.
You just won the day.
Dude, I'm gonna make y'all so hip by the end of this.
Scandal.
Y'all be surprised the.
What's her name that hosts that? She used to work here in New Orleans. And
I don't know.
I can't think of her name. She worked here, I think, for Channel.
No, it was Hoda Kotb.
She is a megastar.
I gotta look it up now.
Why? That sounds about right.
Random media knowledge. Yeah.
Right before the show on NOLA.com, and lots of and I apologize, but that's kind of where the story. Jeff, you remember going into that draft, you and me independent. Leonard Williams. Remember going into that draft, you and me independent. Leonard Williams in that draft. It didn't happen, but apparently 31st pick in that draft, and probably, you know, maybe a couple of three. That was the plan. They wanted to go get Marcus Peters. The trade fizzled.
Enormous. I'm sure some people in the organization were probably worried about his background.
I think he had to like quit, like they threw him off the team or something. Marcus Peters was the best corner still, skill-wise, but imagine the Saints with Marcus Peters. He's made 2 Pro Bowls, and he's being a first-team All-Pro.
Yeah, he knows when to go get it, and he has that ability, and always balls in the air. And a lot of guys get so nervous and they can't catch it. Tyrann Mathieu.
And Jeff, I told you the stat before the show, and you pick with the Saints, obviously, in 30 first round in 1987. So that was that's not good. That's not good.
Is one of the all-time busts. I mean, he might be the biggest.
Dubious distinction. Not good.
Well, one thing I would say is they traded Stephon Anthony. They didn't. Nevertheless, you have to characterize Anthony.
It's still a Saints draft bust. He didn't pan out for them, so that's a bust. No matter.
Sean Payton admitted as much yesterday in the conference call, saying that they missed out.
Well, Davis Tull in that draft. Look, Dave, you overslept and was late and got rid of him, and he was
in the secondary. They don't have those stopgap guys behind them. Instead, they're pulling up. He's playing so many young guys. They almost sound like a team.
Always transition. Every year.
That's the thing that's so weird about it is survive it. He must feel that way because he wouldn't be throwing all these rookies.
And 2, it's the 6th time in his Saints career among Hall of Fame quarterbacks. Sonny Jurgensen and Eli Manning with 5. He went 0-2 twice there. He has been 0-2. He has been 0-2 half of the years of his career. So it's the only time they've ever recovered to make the playoffs. I think they.
But it must have been the Chargers because I don't think they've ever recovered
to make the playoffs. I think they.
But it must have been the Chargers because I don't think they've ever recovered. The playoffs, or they don't get there.
Well, the years in San Diego. Of course, 17 we don't know yet, but here's even more.
Oh my gosh!
Favre, Kurt Warner, Tom Brady, Peyton.
Wow.
And if you want to say from week 1,
yeah.
No,
who's got the bottle
for the final segment? Because it'll actually play. Clyde's partying on a Friday. Come on back. One final segment. Yep. Saints Panthers talk.
That's so sad. That's so sad.
My subhead was poetry.
That's good stuff, Larry.
People just
added another number. And Eli just jumped.
One I know I'm not.
Sad. That's so sad.
My subhead was poetry.
That's good stuff, Larry.
People just
added another number. And Eli just jumped.
One I know I'm not.
Sports 1280. New Orleans.
The revolver.
Morning, officer.
Hi there.
Why are you
team 221 yards, a touchdown?
If you're a small business, first impressions can make all the difference. With Grasshopper, you get and text, making it easy for you and your customers to stay connected.
And their offensive
Even
line
get voicemails transcribed. Set up your
Gene stat.
Now get $20 off your plan when you visit grasshopper.com/. Go. So how can you make sure you never miss a customer's call? Grasshopper. With Grasshopper, you get go. So how can you make sure you never miss a customer's call? Grasshopper. With Grasshopper, you get all easy to use.
Tulane.
It could be a store.
Could be.
Yeah. Your outgoing
they were competitive back in the turn of the.
So whether you're
was
always
a
on the
Muffaletta
go
festival?
or whether
Yes,
you're
there's.
at home and need to keep business calls.
I just had it open. I had the email.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken and Muffaletta. That's a tough call between those
Now
two.
get
How about just go
This was brought to her knees by the devastation of Hurricane Katrina. We all remember.
What the hell?
What?
Commercial?
Foundation. These churches and volunteer organizations show the best of New Orleans. Donating to the fund can go online to www.gnof.org. NOLA, pay it forward.
The red
Doing it in
I know this guy. It's got to be Randy Travis, right? I actually know who this person is. Oh, who's whatever. What was this guy's name when he was the rock star? Of course. That's why I looked right to Clyde.
Entertainment trivia over here.
Exactly.
I have a lot of it, man. Yeah.
You
got to go.
You're invited.
Important game for the Saints, as we know. 0-3 typically leads to doom and gloom, especially. Certainly have a good shot. I'll even say I think they got a good shot because I think their defense hasn't been Cam Newton, even though they're 0-2. I mean, even though they're 2-0, he still hasn't been like back.
And I think missing Greg Olsen is a huge factor. Saints are going to have a game plan for Christian McCaffrey and Curtis Samuel out of the backfield. We know. I think the Saints are going to win. They better win this one because if they lose this one, go to 0-3, and then have to go all the way to Wembley, all the way to London. A more desperate team out on airline drive all week. You're not allowed to speak about London. No one in the building is allowed to talk. Look at
right because they're going to be leaving straight from Charlotte to go to London.
But I think they're focused, and I like their chances in this game. It's a team really take advantage of the Saints' crippled secondary right now.
So you pick the Saints?
Yeah, straight up.
Wow, this can't end.
Why can't you? I mean, we're talking about a team in the Panthers that won.
The Saints, can't get a good pass rush when they rush 4. And here's what happens when they blitz, guys. Stafford and Tom Brady. When the Saints blitz, their combined stats, 14 of 17, 221 yards. So when the Saints, of course, they can't generate pressure with their front 4. When they bring more, they
blitz, send pressure. Doesn't work that way. Not against elite quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Certainly Tom Brady.
And Cam Newton, he could certainly stay in the pocket. He feels physically that he could do arm, and he might miss. Here's the thing. We've seen him in 2013. Remember how terrible he was? Touchdown, they beat the Saints. Yeah, it was unbelievable.
He can look awful. Makes some of the best throws I've ever seen in the NFL. He's got a cannon arm. Amazing.
That was money.
It was just an amazing pass. But then he can also just totally lose it. Team, but they've got that rock solid defense, and they're good on special teams, and they win a lot of games like you.
Kelvin Benjamin responds because the passing attack's going to be on his.
Very quickly, yep. I think it's going to be one of two outcomes. Either it's going to be
I'm the only one. So.
Hot take.
There you go. So.
Again.
Exactly. Want to thank Tulane's Willie Fritz. Want to thank NOLA.com's Jimmy Smith, and also
across the pond.
There you go. So
Jim, cheerio.
Still got about a minute.
So yeah. So you're gonna again just let real quick.
Jim Henderson, Juan Kincaid.
So good show, fun show. We're keeping the picks alive. We'll change the show to Cartman and Holder when you are gone and maybe bring it back. So thanks, everyone. Thanks, Dave.